Y'all, today trying to record this video has been a task in itself. Pray for me. See money all around me. I look like I'm the man. Yeah, but I was down and out like last week. Tell me where have you been? Yeah, came out of hiding, girl. Don't act like I'm your man. So I'm just going to take that as a sign that this is something that really needs to be talked about. I need to flat iron my hair. I shampooed it last night and I ran the hot brush through it and I grasped my scalp with some of my hair crack. Y'all, setting up for this video with this phone has wore me out. Whew. Let's get into the video. Today's video is going to be about my journey with fibroids. If you don't know what fibroids are, I will put it here, a definition, but just a roundabout definition. Fibroids are fibrous cysts or tumors. They're two different things, but fibrous tumors that are either in the lining of the uterus, inside of the uterus, or attached to the uterus. I was also put a picture of the 4 to 5 different types of fibroids. I knew that there was something wrong when I was pouring out blood. In my last story time, she cheated, so I keyed her car. I told you guys that I was weak and I was prepping to have surgery. This is the surgery that I was prepping to have, which was my fibroid surgery. Back then I had 3 fibroid growths. One that was attached to my uterus like a stalk. So one of the girls that was really close to me at the time, I was laying down in the bed on my side and my stomach was moving. Like it was something inside my stomach. She was like, what is that? I was like, what are you talking about? And she noticed. And I went to the doctor and found out that I had a mass in my abdomen. They ran all these tests, found out that I had fibroids. So let's just get into it. So my fibroid journey was very scary, and I would say that because no one in my hometown or the capital city of Montgomery, Alabama would do the surgery for my fibroids. And there are 2 types of surgeries that you can have when you have fibroids, and that is a myomectomy, which they just take the fibroids out and off of your uterus, and a hysterectomy, that's when they pretty much take your uterus. They have half hysterectomies and full hysterectomies. Full hysterectomy is when they take your tubes as well as your uterus. They take everything and you have to be on hormones. And a partial hysterectomy is when they just take your uterus and leave everything else. So pretty much I was bleeding out during one of my cycles and in extreme pain. I never experience what you consider a normal cycle, and how I figured out what normal cycles is my dating life. Seeing that most of the girls that I would talk to can just wear a tampon and a liner and be okay, and I'm just like, how do your body, how? And I've always had to be an overnight pad girl mixed with a super plus or ultra. Girl, did you know they make ultra tampons? They do. So this was my period pack. that I had to have in my purse, okay? Because I would be bleeding so much. And so when you have fibroids that get to a certain size, they pretty much start leaching off of your body. You become extremely tired. You experience pretty much blood loss, which can lead to anemia. I am anemic now. I was anemic then. Thankfully, I've never had to have a blood transfusion, but just thinking about, side note, y'all know I do side notes, just thinking about my first experience and to understand that I'm going through this again 5 to 6 years later is even more traumatic. So I'm going through about a pad an hour with a tampon on, which is a little excessive. My doctor that I'm going to now, because I'm anemic, she pretty much wants me to start doing iron infusions, and that's basically when you go to a specialist and they hook you up to a machine for 2 hours and they pretty much give you iron infusions. I've personally never had an iron infusion ever in my life, so I'm kind of scared about it, you guys. I don't know what to expect. I do know that some people are allergic to the iodine. Some people are allergic to the iron, the synthetic iron. I don't know what to expect, and I'm such a visual thinker. I always think the worst, which I'm kind of pessimistic / optimistic at the same time. But he said that if I start doing the iron infusions every 6 months, I would have to get them until I lose weight again. I did show you guys a picture. If I haven't, I will put it here, a little video of, I have a really good shape. I have a stomach because, you know, I got to cut up my stomach. So if you weight gain, I'm gaining weight because my fibroids have grown back. That's how I knew my fibroids was growing back, because I was putting on weight, like excessive weight. And so the bottom of my stomach is kind of flabby because of that cut. However, it's like it's round. And that's something that I really want to get rid of. And I know after my surgery in 2013, I started doing Avocare. And I started going to the gym, started lifting weights and cardio, and really start chiseling my body out. I will put some pictures here too of how my smallest. And so I really want to start doing Avocare just to give me energy to start walking and just loving on myself, to prepare my mind to start doing the things that I need to do to start prepping for this next surgery. I want kids at 36 years old. I want kids, but I don't have kids yet. I'm married, but I have a loving wife who advised me that I'm willing to carry, I'm willing to adopt, I'm willing to do anything that is necessary to make you feel fulfilled in that area, which was a beautiful suggestion. So we end up going to the fertility doctor, and the amount of surgeries that I have to harvest my eggs. First and foremost, I would have to have another myomectomy. Then I would have to go through the medical procedures needed to harvest my eggs, which is a outpatient procedure. Then I would have to have a third procedure. If I want to carry, I would have to have I think it's IVF, where they take your egg and the sperm, and once they get the embryo, they put it inside of you. And then I would have to get cut up that same scar to have the baby. And then after I have that child, which may or may not have complications, then I'll have to have a hysterectomy. And so it's so much that goes into the process. I'm just like, I don't know if kids are for me. And now that my dad has passed away, one thing that sticks in my mind so much is him saying, I would rather have you healthy than have a child and lose you. And so that is like ringing in my mind. So this surgery that I'm prepping, I'm gonna take the next few months to prep for, is to have a hysterectomy. Me and my wife have discussed, and we are okay with adopting. There's so many people who have given children away that do not have a home, that we have more than enough love and resources and finances to be able to adopt. So that's gonna be so I think what is fibroids, blood issues, and praying through the process and explaining some symptoms. This journey is very hard, especially knowing that I have to go through this process with the cut up my stomach. It's the reason why I didn't do it sooner. If I can have just the robotic or the regular bikini cut, I will be so happy. But the cut up the stomach, all your back muscles are connected. It's like a loop around. And once you cut that, everything has to heal. You don't realize how much you use your core. And before you have any surgery, you should have a very strong core. And to just know that I have issues already with scar tissue and so many other things, it's scary. So you guys say positive prayers for me, and I pray that they just go away once I clean up our eating habits. But we don't, it is what it is. Alright, you guys, I'm going to end the video here. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comment box down below. As I always say, if no one told you today that they love you, know that I love you and God love you. Bye.